Welcome back to the Press Play Podcast, the only podcast that is back in color. My name is Neo Flows, Press Play, Naquan Roberts, whatever you prefer to call me, and it has been a while since we've seen each other like this, face to face or face to phone to however you're watching this. Yep, I'm back to making videos for the podcast. If you haven't noticed, this is episode 13 of the podcast. And I know you're probably watching this on YouTube, the video version. Like, oh my God, 13. How do we get this far? You just did episode 1, then just dipped out. Which, yeah, it's true. It's absolutely correct. I did only make one video, then dipped out. And I'm back. I don't really have much to talk about. Well, I guess I could, stay how the podcast has been since I did the first video. And to sum it up, it has been progressively moving so far. And I love it so far. I'm currently in my car, which is, a complete, total difference from how, the last time you seen me with, all the fancy lights and the dressy shirt. Like, I'm just not getting off of work. I am fresh off of work right now. And I'm not wearing any dressy stuff. I'm literally wearing a gray sweatsuit with a vest. So, yeah. This is the state of the podcast now. It's mostly all audio. I went from recording in the house to being in my car now. So, get used to this setting for a while. Yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say. I will be leaving a link to the previous podcast in the description below. On top of, this visual change, we actually talked about a lot in the podcast. So we talked about who my top 2 favorite artists is, and spoiler, one of my favorite artists is releasing an album this month after being MIA for like 6 years or like 5 years. It actually hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been that long because he hasn't done anything since, except I think Star and Power. But that's beside the point. We talked about my favorite artists. I'm no longer talking about the Laws of Power, which, yeah, it was a thing at one point. That's essentially it. Yeah, I forgot my birthday passed since the last time you seen me. It was March 23rd. And, if you missed it, it's whatever. It wasn't that important to catch in anyway, even though it's like 3 episodes dedicated to it being my birthday. But that is besides the point. Now that I'm back in video, don't expect me to look away like I am now. I'm honestly just camera shy. But I'm still coming out of that shell of like public speaking right now. So I'm still warming up to the idea of doing this whole video podcast as opposed to doing the audio podcast. Because the audio, you can literally do whatever you want to do and no one sees you. But now you see me. But that's beside the point. It's currently 2 minutes to 5:30. The sun's rising, just like last Monday's episode. I just like sitting out here looking at the sunrise, even though I don't go in the house immediately. Because at first it used to be like, I just come straight off of work and I go back inside, and if I don't go to sleep before the sunrise, then I'm going to have a hard time going to sleep. Now I'm just embracing the sunrise. It looks beautiful out here right now. I love it. I don't recommend everybody to, purposely wake up. Sorry, I'm grabbing something. I don't encourage everybody to purposely, wake up early just to see the sunrise and go back to sleep. Because, that's pretty pointless. But I do encourage people to just get in touch with nature one time for the one time. It's April. Well, no, it's May now. It's May 2nd. And, the weather is getting, decently warm everywhere except Chicago at the very least. It's been a bunch of rain so far. I honestly hate it. But, just get in touch with nature one more time for the one time. As soon as, like, the weather start getting better, or, like, one of my days off, me and Croissant's just going to go to, like, a forest reserve and just take a hike or something. That's in the plan for sure. Man, shout out to Fiji Water. It's not sponsored. I want to say that sponsorship for someone special. But shout out to Fiji. If you're going to drink some water, make sure it's something better than just tap water. Fiji water is like the best water that you can still feel bougie with, just by the name. And it's like with Fiji water is like by far my favorite water. And it's to the point that it's like I flex too hard when it comes to Fiji water. It's at the point that I'm saying like, oh, I boil my noodles in Fiji water, kind of bougie level. And at first people didn't believe it until I actually did it, which, by the way, was the first time I did it. Was in front of somebody proving the point that I do it. So, just always remember to back up on what you speak on, because you could joke around all day, but somebody gonna test your car and be like, oh, you just bullshitting. Then you gotta show them you're not. Man. Yeah, this isn't really, I don't really got much to say. This week, well, let me talk about how this week went. So for everybody that, came from like the audio and straight from Anchor listening to me, let me talk about how the week went, because, man. So remember I told you guys that I was off like Tuesday through Thursday, right? Man, when I tell you I was the person everybody depended on all of a sudden on my days off, I don't think I sat down and chilled for a minute. So the entire like days off, I had helped. Well, I had painted the first day. I finished my paintings finally. The next day, I went to Amazon Fresh, checked on Croissant, checked on his girl, and checked on my other friend about her starting a business. That's 5 things all in the day. And that's like literally from me waking up until literally after. Like as soon as it hit like probably, matter of fact, it carried on to the next day, because it was like 3 a.m. of me just helping one of my other friends. Then like Thursday. What did I do Thursday? I forgot what I did Thursday. I know for sure I wasn't in the house though. I think I went to Picasso house. Yeah, I definitely went to Picasso house. I had hooked up his PlayStation, helped him learn how to stream, all for him to, almost disregard everything that I taught him, just to then turn over and get an Elgato, which is like, it's cool, I guess. But I'm just playing. It's actually a pretty cool experience helping somebody, set up a stream and then, streaming with them pretty much. Speaking of streaming, I am live streaming Borderlands 2. And with Borderlands 2 being streamed, I'm also going to be streaming the DLC, which I already did. The Headhunter DLC, all in one video. I've also will be doing, all the other DLC, the Captain Scarlet DLC and, the Fight for Sanctuary, all that. Then I'm going to be doing Tales from Borderland. Then I'm going to be doing Borderlands 3. And I'm not going to be doing Wonderlands until I get a PS4 at least. Not PS4, a PS5. But that's, as far as me finding like a new game to play after like, each thing, I'm cool with how that stands right now. Of me just, doing that order. It's definitely going to last me a while to do. And I meant to like live stream like Thursday, but I just lost track of time. Well, yeah, and that's pretty much how like that weekend went. Well, not weekend, my days off went. Friday, I did live stream, then I went to work. Probably gonna live stream earlier today or later today. I don't know. I'm knowing for sure I'm going to go in the house. I'm gonna go in the house and go to sleep. But when I wake up, I'll probably live stream for a few hours. I'm trying to still, work out a good schedule as far as me live streaming. I don't want to like hold you to it or anything, but I might start at like 2 until like 4:30. And then, Thursday I'll probably stream a little longer, earlier and later. Well, starting earlier and ending later. Yeah, that's pretty much, all the updates I really have to say. Not really that much more to touch on. Besides the fact that I'm back and I'm doing this in video form now. That's interesting, I guess. But, yeah, I'm just gonna, end today's episode off right here. Good little 11 minutes. Like, honestly, these episodes last way longer. Like, last week's episode was like 31 minutes. Amazing. But, we're just gonna end the podcast off right here. I'm honestly just tired from work. So, we're just gonna end it off right here. The sun's rising beautifully. So I'm just, it's about time for me to get out and go to sleep. Because it's been a little rough this week. A little rough. I'm trying to get all the sleep I can possibly get. Just so I can then, wake up, live stream, and I already told you. So, yeah. I'll be seeing you later today on the Neo Flows channel. It should be a link in the description. As well as all the other... Well, it's a drum.io, which is basically Linktree. So, just click the link and you'll be sure to see all my other links. Hope to see you either at the live stream or at here again next Monday.